An icy challenge, meeting a legend at the edge of the world. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to sit in a fragile boat while a shadow the size of a 3-story building glides beneath you? I was standing on the shore of the Chukchi Sea, the cold burning my lungs, but all of that vanished the moment I looked toward the horizon. This is not just a hunt, it's a sacred duel where the stakes are the survival of an entire settlement. For centuries, Inuit people have gone out against bowhead whales, and every time it looks like pure madness, the kind that takes your breath away and makes everything inside you freeze.
Did you know that for these people, spring doesn't begin with flowers, but with narrow ribbons of open water appearing between pressure ridges? That's when bowhead whales begin their migration north. In a land locked in permafrost, where not even grass can grow, the ocean is the only provider. I watched hunters check their gear, and in every movement there was deep respect for the prey. In this harsh world, the whale is life itself, rising from the cold depths at the exact moment it's needed most.
What if I told you that the most intense part of the hunt is absolute, ringing silence? For hours the men sit without a word, listening to the groans of the ice. Any sudden sound can scare off the sensitive giant. I could feel the air charged with anticipation. When the first plume of vapor and icy spray burst above the water, a wave of excitement ran through the hunters. In that moment, you realized you're facing an ancient ruler of these waters, an animal that can live for more than 200 years. This is an encounter with living history. Are you ready to learn how it's even possible to challenge a giant like this using nothing but ropes and hand tools? A bowhead whale can weigh 60 tons, and stopping it from a small boat seems impossible. But Inuit hunters are master strategists of the Arctic. They know everything about their neighbors, how they breathe, and exactly where they will surface. This is an honest confrontation, where nature grants a chance at survival only to the most prepared. The skill is passed from father to son over centuries, turning ordinary people into true guardians of the high north. Weapons tempered over millennia, secrets of Arctic technology. Can you guess how long it took to bring this hunting arsenal to perfection? Even today, hunters build the umiak, a boat covered with walrus skins. It moves almost silently, which is critical when approaching a sensitive giant. A wooden or bone frame is lashed together with flexible sinew, creating a strong yet elastic structure. This is a living engineering miracle, one that has saved lives for centuries in a world locked in ice. Do you know the secret hidden in the very tip of a traditional harpoon? It's a unique toggling head that turns sideways after impact, locking firmly beneath the whale's skin. In the past, these tips were painstakingly carved from bone. Today, hardened steel is often used, but the principle remains the same. A line is attached to the harpoon, along with bright floats made from inflated seal skins. These buoys prevent the prey from diving too deep, slowly exhausting it and marking its path through the pressure ice. Here's something no one tells you about modern whaling. Behind the traditional appearance, new technology is now part of the hunt. Today, many umiaks are fitted with powerful engines, and in the harpooner's hands is a heavy brass gun that fires a special charge. Its purpose is to end the animal's life as quickly as possible and spare it unnecessary suffering. But technology only complements ancestral experience. In extreme cold, equipment often fails, and in those moments, everything depends on the sharpness of steel and the hunter's skill.
No one hunts alone. The Arctic Dream Team. What do the world's most successful teams have in common with a small Arctic community? At the center of everything stands the Umialek, the captain of the hunting crew. He's not just a leader, but a person carrying enormous responsibility. He provides the team with everything, from durable boat skins to food supplies. His word is law, and his authority is earned through years of decisions. In the harsh ice, there is no room for democracy. Here, every life depends on how accurately the captain can read the signs of nature.
Here's what happens in the final 24 hours before heading out to sea. Every crew member goes through strict selection. A special role belongs to the harpooner, a person with nerves of steel. He stands at the very bow of the boat, facing the icy wind and a multi-ton threat. His task is to deliver a single precise strike in the brief moment when the whale surfaces. The slightest hesitation or tremor in the hands can deprive the entire settlement of food for months. This is a job for those who truly do not know fear. Did you know that the success of the hunt is decided not only out on the ocean, but also back on shore? While the men battle the elements, their wives and children observe ancient rituals, believing that their calm is passed on to the hunters. Mutual support here is elevated to a way of life. Every rower is part of a single organism, moving in perfect rhythm. If even one person loses the tempo, the boat can capsize from a single sweep of the whale's tail. That level of unity genuinely amazed me. Here, one for all is not just a phrase. Picture this. You're gliding over a mirror of ice in total silence, your heart pounding so loudly it feels like the sea itself can hear it. The hunters paddle with short, careful strokes, careful not to disturb the water's surface. The whale is close now. Its powerful exhale tears through the air just meters away. We approach from the dead zone, near the tail, where the giant can't see us. In that moment, time seems to stop, and every nerve is stretched tight like the harpoon line, ready for its single, decisive action. The throw. This is the moment when life and death collapse into a single point, and it made me freeze with both awe and fear. The harpooner lunges forward, and the steel tip disappears deep beneath the giant's skin. A massive udar of the tail crashes down, dumping tons of icy water over us. The boat is thrown violently upward as the whale instantly dives. Now the floats take over. Bright inflated seal skins burst into the water. They act like anchors, preventing the Leviathan from vanishing into the depths and forcing it to resurface again and again. Chaos erupts in the seconds that follow. The rope screams under tension, slicing through the icy water as the whale pulls with unimaginable force. Men shout commands, hands burn against wet lines, and the umiak lurches dangerously from side to side. One wrong move here, one tangled rope, and the sea will claim someone instantly. But this is where experience shows its power. Each hunter knows exactly when to pull, when to give slack, and when to brace. What looks like madness from the outside is, in reality, a carefully controlled struggle, a test of discipline against raw, ancient strength. Minutes stretch into hours. The whale surfaces again and again, each time weaker than before. The floats slow it down, draining its strength with every dive. The hunters don't rush. They know that force alone won't win this battle. Patience is the real weapon here. patience sharpened by generations of hard lessons written in ice and blood. I realized then why elders say the sea must be respected more than feared. As the struggle drags on, the hunters watch the whale closely, reading every movement of its body and tail. The moment it begins to roll onto its side is the signal they've been waiting for. That's when additional harpoons are used, not in haste, but with calm precision. This isn't cruelty, it's the final responsibility to end the hunt as quickly and cleanly as possible. When the whale finally stops moving, an unnatural silence falls over the water. No one cheers, no one speaks. The hunters lower their heads for a brief moment, honoring the life that has just been taken. I felt a weight in my chest, not triumph, but humility. In the Arctic, victory is never loud. It is quiet, heavy, and filled with understanding of the price that was paid. Only after that silence does movement return. The hunters secure the massive body and begin the slow journey back toward shore. There is no celebration yet, only focus. A whale of this size is both a gift and a danger. One careless action, one poorly tied line, and the ice-cold water can still claim a life even after the hunt is over. Did you know that a single bowhead whale can feed an entire community for months? Once the animal reaches the shore, a new phase begins, one that demands just as much discipline as the hunt itself. The butchering follows strict rules. Every cut is deliberate, every movement coordinated. There is no rush because haste here can ruin precious meat or cause injury on the slippery ice. Nothing is wasted. Meat, blubber, skin, all of it has a purpose. In a land where the tundra gives nothing, the whale gives everything. I watched as the first pieces were shared according to ancient custom. Elders, widows, and families without hunters received their portions first. This moment reveals the true heart of Arctic life. The hunt is never about individual reward. It is about responsibility to the entire community. Standing there in the freezing wind, I understood something clearly. Survival here has always been collective, or it hasn't existed at all. What struck me most was the calm dignity of it all. There were no raised voices, no sense of conquest. People worked quietly, efficiently, as if performing a task that was both ordinary and sacred. Children watched closely, learning not from explanations, but from observation. This is how knowledge survives here, not written down, but absorbed through participation and respect for tradition. As night settled over the ice, lamps were lit along the shore. Their soft glow reflected off the frozen sea, marking the end of a long and dangerous day. The hunters finally allowed themselves to rest, knowing that the community would eat, stay warm, and survive the coming months because of what had been done today. In that quiet moment, I understood that this hunt was never about dominance over nature. It was about balance, gratitude, and the fragile agreement between humans and the Arctic. This is why people here say that the whale chooses the hunter, not the other way around. The animal's arrival, the weather, the state of the ice, the readiness of the people, everything has to align. When it does, the hunt becomes possible. When it doesn't, no amount of courage or strength will change the outcome. The Arctic does not reward stubbornness. It rewards attention and humility. If this story made you feel the weight of the cold and the silence of the Arctic, then it did its job. What you've just seen is not a tale of bravery for the sake of spectacle, but a glimpse into a way of life where survival depends on restraint, cooperation, and respect for forces far greater than any individual. If you want to hear more real stories about people who live at the very edge of what's possible, subscribe to the channel and stay with us. More journeys into the frozen north are ahead.